Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we are talking Big Brother Reindeer Games, episode 4. And I don't know, after this episode, I was kind of feeling a certain type of way. We finally get an hour episode. This is Derek X's last episode as being the elf. So shout out to Tiffany, who is the mastermind that will be the final Santa's elf for these final 2 episodes that air tonight, and I believe the finale airs on Thursday. So episode, again, we have another, goofy, naughty or nice challenge in which basically they're trying to figure out who was the correct mugshot based off of some clues, some paw prints, some colors, and everything else around the fireplace mantle. Basically, they had to go around the house, put the clues together, and try to do process of elimination on who, in fact, was the correct mugshot to select. And basically, it came down to, I think Xavier knew the right answer, but he was between 2 and decided to say the wrong answer for some reason. And then Josh also had the right answer, as well as Frankie, right? But we didn't know who won the game, and Josh thought that he won because he knew he was right, until Derek X announced that Frankie was the winner, right? So basically, as you know, after every naughty or nice challenge, the winner gets an advantage. And then there's a disadvantage, but Frankie's advantage was that he got to choose who his partner was, and then everyone else had to pair off. So he was trying to deliberate, he didn't want to make the same mistake Cody did and choose one of his allies that might not be good for the competition, and then he's at risk for going into Santa Showdown and potentially getting eliminated, right? So he decides to choose somebody who he's not closely working with in Taylor, because he figured if they lose, at least he feels good about his chances against her in the event they had to go to the Santa's Showdown or whatever. So nonetheless, they pair up, and then there was this standstill between Xavier and Josh versus Nicole and Brittany as far as whether they wanted to do girl-boy partners or have one boy and one girl, so that way it's kind of like the best of both worlds. And I don't know whether or not that was the right strategy in the grand scheme of things, because ultimately I feel like the way that they kind of did how the eliminations were going to go, I kind of felt that they would have kind of changed it depending on who won the challenge, right? And how the partnerships worked. What do I mean? So the challenge that they had was they had to put together these presents on the sleigh. Basically, they had to fit in perfectly, and ultimately when they do, they have to hit the buzzer, basically, and they won, right? And so the disadvantage that Frankie had that they told right before the challenge was that he could freeze somebody. He could freeze one of the other teams because it was Josh and Brittany and Xavier and Nicole. He could freeze somebody for 45 seconds that will impede their time and their progress of putting together these presents. And so ultimately, him and Taylor are moving through the challenge. Taylor sees that Xavier and Nicole are ahead of them, and she tells Frankie to put the freeze on Nicole and X. So he does that, freeze them for 45 seconds so that they can catch up and get their puzzle pieces together, right? Josh and Brittany, I don't know what was happening with their process, but ultimately with that freeze, not only were Taylor and Frankie able to catch up, but they also won the challenge, right? So they're ecstatic, they're excited, but they know that they have to choose who's going to go down to the Santa Showdown, right? And so Derek X then reveals that they have to, each of them are going to choose somebody from the losing team to go into Santa Showdown. And this is where I feel like this would have changed depending on who the partners were, right? This would have changed for sure if the partners were Brittany and Nicole and the partners were Xavier and Josh, for sure. Because production would have made sure that they said you have to choose a team, a losing team. But because Brittany and Nicole were split up, now you have to choose a player from each team, right? so that one way or the other, Nicole Franzel is going to be safe, right? Because Allison Grodner loves her, right? And so I told myself, even before we got into Santa Showdown, because, you know, Taylor was deliberating, because now all of a sudden, Brittany and Nicole want to bring up the Girls Alliance. And I was like, really? I was like, where was the Girls Alliance when you threw Danielle into Santa Showdown, the previous episode, which got her eliminated? You weren't thinking about the Girls Alliance then. And that's my biggest pet peeve with Big Brother and how they cast some of these players, is that it's always the same song and dance, in that they always want certain people to do their dirty work, to play the game for them, but they never keep the same energy when the roles are reversed, right? What do I mean by that? So Brittany and Nicole, who are all like, yeah, we're girls, we're all about an all-girl alliance, but yet, Brittany, you make a deal to never go for Josh, and you're supposed to be in an all-girls alliance, and you throw Danielle into that Santa Showdown with barely any time left to do that puzzle, and she gets eliminated, right? So you weren't thinking about an all-girls alliance then. And then Nicole, at the first half of the show, you were all up under Cody and Frankie as your numbers, right? Because regardless of how you felt about Cody and how he did you in All-Stars, because Cody was winning, because Cody was in a position of power, because him and Frankie were the two turtle doves, you latched on and you put aside whatever, because you knew that if they kept winning comps and you were paired with them, or you were closely aligned with them, that you had a good shot at getting into reindeer games. So why now all of a sudden are you trying to force Taylor's hand and make sure she throws X into Santa Showdown when he's already been to 3 other ones and has already proven himself? When last time it was when Nicole was on the line, Taylor saved her, right? So X is trying to talk some sense into Taylor, because basically Frankie just kind of just made the decision for Taylor. It was like, yeah, we're saving, you know, we're just going to throw the guys in there. And I was like, oh, really? We're just going to throw the guys in there. That's really your strategy, right? And it just couldn't be any more obvious that Brittany, Nicole, and Frankie are a trio. And I don't understand why nobody else is picking up on it. This is why I miss live feeds. I need to see the live feeds, because I need to see what the house knows and what they don't know. And unfortunately, we are going on limited information since this is, you know, being edited a certain way, right? I'll get on that later. Nonetheless, you know, Taylor ends up choosing Nicole to send to the showdown. And Josh ends up going to the showdown by Frankie, which was no surprise, because there was never going to be a chance where he was going to send Brittany into the showdown, right? And so the moment that I heard Nicole's name, I was like, Nicole's staying. I was like, Nicole is not going anywhere. I don't care what the challenge is. I said it's likely going to be a challenge that is going to cater to Nicole. And sure enough, it was an endurance challenge. And what do we know about the history of endurance challenges and Big Brother, right? That if you have a smaller build, 9 times out of 10, you're able to endure the endurance, right? So nonetheless, it is this rotating and janky candy cane, human-sized candy cane, that Josh and Nicole have to hold on to. And in between, we're getting these diary sessions where, you know, Frankie and Nicole, they're calling Taylor a traitor. And I was like, she wasn't even in your alliance. And they're all like, well, this just shows us whose Taylor's loyalty lies. And it's like, you don't have any loyalties to Taylor. Your loyalties are to Brittany and Nicole. Nicole, your loyalties are Frankie to Brittany. Brittany, your loyalty are to Nicole and Frankie. So why are you tripping, right? And so pretty much this challenge, this endurance challenge, is pretty neck and neck, right? It's pretty neck and neck. You know, I didn't know who was going to win, but I knew one way or the other, Nicole was going to somehow come out of the victory, right? So over an hour has passed. They start to increase, like, the jerking back and forth of these life-size candy canes that Nicole and Josh are holding on to and everything else. And so then we get into finally the conclusion of the challenge. It throws both Josh and Nicole off of the candy cane at the same time. And so then we get this notification that production, quote unquote, reviews the footage to see who hit the mat first. And it was this slow-mo replay, you guys, to showcase that Josh allegedly hit the mat first, you guys. And so nonetheless, Nicole survived, right? And, you know, she had a meltdown before, she had a meltdown after, and she's still talking smack about Taylor. So I'm not looking forward to these final couple episodes because basically Taylor and X are going to have to win out to secure their spots in reindeer games, right? Because either we know for sure at least one of them is going to make reindeer games. But I'm hoping both of them do because they really got to take out Frankie. They got to get rid of Frankie and Nicole especially, right? Because Nicole does the same game every time. She plays like she's not a compy. She plays like she has no idea what she's doing and that she's not a threat. And then she throws on the tears and then she throws on the victimhood. And the next thing you know, she's winning challenges or she's closely aligned to a guy that's winning all the challenges. And then she somehow ends up at the end with a chance to compete for the money. And nobody gets rid of her, right? So this is going to be interesting to see. Like I said, we have 2 final episodes. We have the first one tonight that we are going to see Tiffany, like I said at the beginning of the video, the mastermind. So we will see, you know, what this energy is going to be. But right now, the house is divided. The house is divided because now it's Taylor and X versus Brittany, Nicole, and Frankie. And I don't know how I feel about this outcome, right? I don't know how I feel about how this ending is going to go because based on how things have been edited up until this point, it is all pointing to, and this is me, I don't have any spoilers, I don't have any inside scoop, I didn't look up any spoilers on who wins the show. But based off of how the editing is going, it is giving that either Frankie or Nicole won this thing, right? Or at least were runner-ups or something, right? Because they are both getting in their own way some type of winner's edit. Nicole keeps getting, you know, this, woe is me, I fall down and get back up edit, and I don't even understand because this is the first time she even had to do a showdown. You would have thought that she was in every single showdown like X was, the way she was talking. But nonetheless, we have 2 more episodes left. And you know what? Overall, I'm satisfied with the show. Overall, I am happy that there are more fair and balanced challenges. We're never going to see this, unfortunately, on the flagship show. But it was nice to see. And ultimately, you know, it gives everyone a shot to win. It gives everybody a shot to win. It's basically a crapshoot, right? So it'll be interesting to see what challenges are tonight, who gets targeted tonight. And like I said, X and Taylor have to win out if they want to try to secure both of them into that Reindeer Games final. They have to, one way or the other, get rid of Nicole or Frankie or Brittany tonight, right? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They've got to do it, right? Otherwise, one of them is going to be gone. So there's that. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.